Brisbane line on 4ZZZ 102.1 FM.
For the next hour, 4ZZZ's news team will bring you the latest independent news from an alternative viewpoint.
Brisbane line, go beyond the 30-second news wrap.
Good afternoon, you're listening to Brisbane Line on 4ZZZ with Stephen and Kate, and that was Go-Go Gadget Flow from Lupe Fiasco. We now have a bit of a sum-up of the stories we're going to have today. We're going to be talking to a couple of experts in social work about the effects that being stuck in a closet for your whole life has on you, and that's because of the Austrian fiasco that's been happening lately with the man who kept his daughter locked in a basement. We will also be listening to an interview with Rodney Croom from the Tasmanian Gay and Lesbian Rights Group, and he's going to be talking about the fact that while the government wants to amend all discriminatory laws, they do not want to agree to marriage. And last of all, we'll have an interview with some angry cab drivers who are demanding for safer conditions.
Fantastic. And also coming up now, we have an interview that Gemma conducted with the Scientology public relations man. And after that, we're going to be talking to a couple of members of the Anonymous arm of Brisbane's arm of Anonymous about their views on Scientology.
It means the study of knowledge, right? Study of knowledge of wisdom. So it sort of has an Eastern background, like you're studying Eastern philosophy, and it has this sort of, salvation through knowledge sort of bent. And that's what one of the first things you'll notice about Scientology. It starts out with about 7 levels where you get up to a state called clear. And basically what these are is they handle different aspects of life, clearing away upset and fixed ideas that people get into. For example, grade 0 is all about communication. If you have, say, trouble communicating on certain subjects or with certain types of people, that could be a barrier in your life. So with the Scientology auditing, which is just another word for counseling, we get rid of those barriers. You find out what actually caused that to occur, and then so you end up at the end of grade 0 with the ability to communicate freely with anyone on any subject. And so that cleared up then allows you to go up to higher and higher levels. The final level is actually called operating Thetan 15. These levels are basically have to do with you as a spiritual being. When we talk about spirit, we're talking about the life force, that life energy, the thing that makes people alive. That's what we believe the spirit is, and we believe that that's what you are. These higher levels in Scientology relate to you as a spiritual being and your connection with the whole rest of the universe and other people and just resolve issues regarding that.
So you can't actually ascend from one level to the next until you've sort of learned all of the lessons on the level you're on, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's all you learn to crawl before you can walk and learn to walk before you can run and all that sort of stuff.
It costs money to ascend to each level and sort of get the knowledge from the next level, doesn't it?
Well, when we say cost money, I mean, let's look at what that funding does. It just goes to actually paying the bills for the church. There's no one in the church living the high life because you have the tax office in all the countries that we've had tax exemption and religious recognition. They thoroughly look through the papers and all that, and so really what we're doing is we're those funds just pay for the community campaigns. Like I'm involved in a big anti-drug campaign and so forth, and so the parishioners that are getting this level, they basically will donate the equivalent of basically what it costs to deliver that level, and that's what they'll donate.
A lot of non-profit organisations actually have very transparent financial records and they post them on the internet. Is there anything like that in Scientology?
Well, as far as transparent goes, I mean, I don't think that you could have a more rigorous organization than the tax office going through all of your financial records, and then going to the High Court of Australia in 1983 and then pronouncing you that you're a religion fully entitled to tax exemption. I mean, I don't know how much more thorough you can get than that.
A lot of critics say that they reach all of the higher levels that they've invested so much they'll just believe anything that you tell them.
Well, I mean, I think that you could accuse that of any ideology whatsoever, you know, like the Republican Party or, you know, like everything, the liberals and the Democrats and the this and that. You could say that about anything, really.
Yeah, but they don't really make you pay money to ascend to each level.
Oh, well, maybe not ascend to the level, but I mean, if you look at, going back to these groups, you know, 10% of your income that's from the Bible. You know, that's every 10%, and then, you know, Muslims pay the zakat, right, which is every year they pay 2% of their profit, and then it goes on and on from there. I think the main point about the money is where is this money going?
How do you find members?
Well, you know, most people come in through their friends and family, and so that's the largest percentage. People, you know, they do stress tests in the street, and you've probably seen those things going on and selling Dianetics books. And we have big library campaigns so people can read the books at the library. The whole thing about new members is we want people to make their own decision, like decide for yourself, you know, have a look, see for yourself, make your own decision. And that way, you know, it's really good that they make a self-determined choice rather than, you know, someone else just telling you, hey, this is, you know, you have to believe this or else, and it just doesn't work. You have to have a self-determined choice about an ideology, or else it's just no good.
So do you think Scientology is misrepresented in the media?
I think that there's a lot of misrepresentations just because they play a lot along the gossip lines, and you know, pick up a gossip magazine and keep forwarding the same lines over and over and over.
If a person wants to leave Scientology, are they just like free to go pretty much?
Well, if a person is, you know, doesn't want to be a Scientologist, then I mean, that's fine. This is actually in keeping with our belief system. Is what is true for you. So in other words, we're not going to say to somebody before they enter Scientology, you know, that, you know, if you don't believe in Scientology, you know, you're going to go to hell or something like this, and because that's not the way we do things. That's not how we are. So conversely, if a person doesn't want to follow Scientology, well, then that's their freedom as well.
All right. Thanks for your time today, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you very much for having me.
From the Church of Scientology. Now, at the moment, I'm joined with Rick and Tom, who are members of the Brisbane arm of Anonymous. Guys, what does the Brisbane arm of Anonymous actually do?
Well, every month we go out to Brisbane Square and we peacefully protest the Church of Scientology, and we also we try and keep, like through the internet, try and keep people educated about the Church of Scientology and why we're against it.
Why are you against it?
Pretty much because it's run like a business.